The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good Saturday night. And welcome back to another live show, late show, of course, on a Saturday night. It's myself, Blake, with the Lost Cryptids Conservatory, the founder. Hopefully we get James up in here a little bit. And I have a good show for you guys. Hang out and just talk about Bigfoot and other cryptids, actually, and stuff. And, got a few things on the mind and stuff. And let me get my chat up. Second. But, it's spring. It's finally, for the main part, winter's pretty much over with. We get hit not too long ago with another frost over and a little bit of snow. Up in northern Michigan, there's in the UP and stuff, it's a little different. But where I'm at in lower Michigan and stuff, and in other lower states, Ohio and Indiana and such, it's springtime and such. It's April, past mid-April and stuff, beginning of May. So a lot of different animals and stuff are giving birth, and it's speculated that Sasquatch gives birth. Generally most animals give birth at a certain time of year, or either they give birth anytime during the year. But usually springtime is a very heavy a time to give birth and to raise young, because winter's over with. There's a lot of sun coming out. All the food sources are growing, plentiful and all that such. So, but some of the data shows that July could be a secondary or maybe a primary birthing month. Okay, so I'm going to put the link in the chat for anyone to come on, open mic, just discuss about whatever, Bigfoot, cryptids, and have a fun time. And so springtime in July, a lot of baby crying and stuff is heard in July, which would point to babies possibly being born, and babies being around and stuff too in July. But a couple months back, even 2 or 3 months, a baby and stuff, it's still gonna cry, 3-month-old and stuff. So right now could be giving birth and stuff, and in the next coming months, if you hear babies crying out in the woods and stuff, possibly a Sasquatch young, and you do not want to go after that at all. Definitely not aggressively or anything, because you might find yourself in a very bad situation where other people won't ever find you again. So, but hi to everyone in the chat, Sandra Piper and Flat Rock. Yeah, it was pretty nice seeing you guys on the other show. We're on Nikki's show, Harry Man Hoodwinks and Hoaxes, I think it's called. But yeah, so here in Michigan, in Lower Michigan, I like to chalk it up to three different areas and stuff. So you have Michigan, and basically you have from here down is Lower Michigan. From here we'll say the Ohio borders right here down. Right here down is Lower Michigan. From here up is Northern Michigan, and then you have the Upper Peninsula. So you have three different areas where they have three different climates going on, pretty much. It's definitely three different habitats and environments for them to exploit, and they have to adapt to. Here in Lower Michigan, it's very different from the Upper Peninsula, and Northern Michigan. Huge populations of people live here, and it's very heavily farmland. Midwest, very heavily farmed, which doesn't stop them or anything. But up in Northern Michigan, there's just way more woods and wilderness environments for them to truly just remain hidden. And then up in the UP and Canada at that point, and then you can go towards the western UP and where it conjoins to Wisconsin and Minnesota and Canada up that way. It's one of the most rugged and wild places in the lower continental U.S., outside of Alaska. It's very, very, very heavily forested and just little population and stuff. And the winters are very, very brutal, and very a lot of missing people and stuff that way too. So Sasquatch is let's bring that up here. Flat Rock. Blake, do you believe a Sasquatch is made in mid to late April, making the town line June? Yeah, I mean, they could and stuff. We don't know their just birthing period, gestational period. How long actually the baby's incubating inside the mother. Different animals and different sizes of animals and individuals. It takes longer. Humans are 9 months, to give or take. Elephants are much different. I can't remember the numbers. I used to know the numbers and stuff, but it actually varies. We know that dogs and cats and stuff and other small animals and pigs can reproduce very rapidly and multiple times during a year, but usually bigger creatures and stuff and humans and primates and stuff typically have a little bit longer period of pregnancy and have to so I would equate it to pretty much like humans and stuff. They because humans, the reason why we have to women have to basically pop them out at 9 months is because the baby is getting too big to stay inside of the cavity. So so it has to come out. But a bigger creature and bigger animals could stay inside the womb a little bit longer and grow a little bit more, and so you might have a longer period. It might be a full year. Might maybe they have an extra month. It could be less and stuff too. We just don't know. So from the data, it shows there's baby crying in the springtime, and July is heavy. July is a very heavy month, very active month. Most of the sightings in Michigan and seems to be the U.S. is July and October, which a lot of people are outside in July, and a lot of people are outside in October for hunting season. 4th of July, summer camping, so maybe it's just that too. But from right now to July is definitely hot, hot, hot months. And basically when everyone gets out, winter's over with, so everyone's like, it's not cold out anymore. And but the Sasquatches, they've been doing their stuff the whole year. So theoretically they should be able to have, kids whenever they want. I mean, animals, are instinctively, they know to usually have birth during springtime and not at the beginning of winter or something, right? People, we can choose whenever. So Sasquatches theoretically probably can choose whenever to have a kid, but they probably would aim or maybe pick the best months, which is springtime and summer for infant survival out in the wilderness, right? So, and there's reports of them, you know, mating and stuff. Maybe it's not reproduction mating, but recreational mating and stuff a lot. So at different times of the year, which would have put it in them having, again, we don't know, but a baby, in the winter and stuff. So, you know, um, I can't stress enough though, when you start hearing like baby crying and stuff in the woods and stuff, very, very cautious and not to go after it. And there's animals and foxes can make baby sounds and stuff. But those are, when animals make certain calls and stuff, it's for certain reasons. So like when people are saying, well, a fox makes baby calls and stuff. Yeah, and can make all sorts of calls when it's playing with other foxes, especially pups, playing with each other. They make all sorts of nice and sounds and stuff. But when you're investigating that out in the wilderness or outside at nighttime, and you come across them, they're not going to start playing. They're not going to play anymore. Probably get scared and stop. So uh, there's only certain situations where they're making those calls because instinctively they're not randomly making the call if they're not playing with another fox, and those calls are only heard or recorded by humans during play and stuff. So when you're out in the woods, you have to be very careful what you hear. You have to be very try to understand what the animals are making and what different sounds they can make, because all sorts of animals can make all sorts of sounds. I mean, you can look up dog videos, and a variety of dogs can make a variety of different sounds and vocal ranges and stuff, and would surprise you on some of the stuff that they can chalk together. So animals and birds and stuff, they make a lot of different sounds, especially when they're stressed or they're scared or they're dying or they're in the fight. They'll wail and make all sorts of different blood curdling howl sounds. So raccoons and stuff, they make all sorts of racket. So you gotta learn and stuff. You gotta take the time and figure out what different animals sounds are, and experience them in the wild too, and get a feel of what's going on. So yeah. So yeah. But Bigfoot is 2022 seems to be pretty interesting already. I seen the BFRO Matt Moneymaker is putting out mapping system of sightings supposedly. So they'll be vetted and stuff, and they won't be the whole thing, but it looks like they're going to be putting out more accurate mapping data, which is very interesting. And actually, once again, it would be very beneficial to the whole community. So even if you want to give Matt all the flack that he deserves, I mean, if he's putting the data out, it's definitely going to help. It's going to help my research. I know that, because I'm going to gobble that up and add it to what I got. And I suspect it's probably just mostly all the stuff I already have. They just made it easier with GPS coordinates and stuff. All of which, you used to be able to read, and you could get in. You would have to map it out yourself, and you would have to go to the road, and then you would look at it and figure out by the description where the exact area was and stuff. So we'll see on how accurate some of these are because I got them pretty labeled pretty good for Michigan. But it's pretty beneficial, so that's credit to him, right? Um, so it'll be very interesting because there's some other mapping websites, so it'll be kind of interesting to see, what new data is there that wasn't there previously, maybe from them, the BFRO, and so that's what I'm interesting. And I've seen that, so it's a new app and stuff. I guess you could download the beta version and stuff, but usually that has bugs and stuff. So the full version probably will have more stuff. So that's interesting, I think, and that's for the whole U.S. and probably Canada, I'm guessing. So yeah, yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Maybe a little saving grace from his BS claim of best Bigfoot tracks of 2020 or whatever it was. It was just moose tracks discovered and verified and checked by Leon Thompson himself, who suffered an accident stuff, a medical incident, and is in the road to recovery. And you guys can find out how to help him out and donate at other channels like Curious Cryptids and at his own channel, Bigfoot Okinawan and stuff. So, but they went out there and stuff. I think maybe Brent from the Tall Ones went out there and stuff too, actually, and checked them out and verified that they were moose tracks and not the witnesses had seen basically a back of the moose that moved into the woods, and it was 7 foot upright behind of a moose. It would seem like an upright figure. So maybe Matt's giving some saving grace to himself, and he's going to some conferences and stuff too. So he's doing the rounds. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting to meet him. Actually, I don't know. I'd have a few questions and stuff, but going out in the field is really where you get. I personally would get an understanding of how people are, if they're legit or not and stuff. And I think he would probably, I don't know, surprise people, I think. But especially if you paid him. But yeah, it's been an interesting week and stuff. So a lot of old hoax videos I see on the Facebook groups and stuff are coming back around and different stuff. And we're gonna have next week's show. We're gonna have clips and stuff ready of different stuff that we're gonna show you and hoaxes and stuff that's just you can't believe everything, especially on the NVTV channel or whatever it is. Basically, the hoax Bigfoot channel on YouTube. Everything on there is guaranteed to be a fake. There's a lot of stuff going on actually in this whole Bigfoot community and cryptid community actually, and paranormal community and ghost community. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's very surprising how deep you can get into some stuff and how that things are monitored by law enforcement and government above that, state and fed. But it's very interesting. There's a lot of stuff that they obviously want to watch and to monitor and evidence that they collect. So, yeah, I think it's easier to have thousands and thousands of people out there, basically for not being paid to do the dirty work, and then evidence and all that's collected and gathered, and they are the ones working on everything and have all the puzzle pieces and are connecting the dots. And then it's like, oh, look at this person over here, he got this and they found this, they're talking about this and this, blah 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 blah, and we're left in the dark. We don't even know. We're left basically blind, fumbling around trying to pick up whatever and make it stick. So it's very very interesting and stuff. You hear different instances of things all around, and people who are saying it. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's nothing new, of course, but it would point to this whole everything that's going on is definitely bigger and must be very very out of proportions and not as controllable as people would think. People think that they hunt these things down all the time and send these forces in, but I don't think it's like that. I think there's so much of them and stuff that they don't do this sort of stuff. It would they would have to do so much military stuff that it would just be so noticeable that you would probably have to have a standing army in the U.S. to be battling these things full time for a while. So I think that would be pretty noticeable. So it must be a lot of stuff going on, very close to home and stuff. So and you add in the spiritual and paranormal and ghost stuff, and it's who knows, but very 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 interesting stuff. And they're we do know, and this is all public stuff, that they're building tunnels underground, and Elon Musk himself is designing tunnel stuff and innovations and stuff into that field. It's already stuff, it's the stuff that they're showing the public now. It basically means there's a lot more underground now, so maybe they're encountering these creatures, different creatures underground, and they definitely have a lot more information and encounters than we do. Who knows, that there's maybe warfare going on, but obviously they must have encountered a slew of different creatures, natural creatures, prehistoric creatures that live in the environment of the underground, and karst systems and the underground waterways and aquifers. Basically, that's all karst means, is underground caves and waterways, and huge, massive, thousands, hundreds of miles of mazes, thousands of miles of incredible world that humans just can never survive in. But aquatic creatures and uh, cave dwelling stuff could possibly live in there and travel. But we know that there's very fish and there's small life forms and stuff that live in these things, and so there's pockets of very special things that basically only got there basically probably because they got pushed out of some other maze or somewhere else, but they only live there in the world, and that would be a small hole in the desert out in Nevada, and it's the Devil Hole, and locked up scientifically at monitored and stuff. But basically, it's a shaft of water that goes thousands of miles towards Mexico and who knows where else. But basically, massive, massive chamber, and evidence of this underground waterways and underground passages, and so the government and Elon Musk are building these tunnels and all these earthquake proof tunnels and movable tunnels that shake and stuff like that. And so who knows what they're encountering and stuff, right? So we know very little and stuff. So if they're definitely encountering even if it was a natural, animalistic, prehistoric animal that is, capable of hunting humans and all that, they'd be wiping them out, especially to ensure the integrity of whatever they're building, right? Bases and passages and, all that good stuff, right? So Sasquatch and stuff, they were down there, definitely be on the menu for firefights. So they definitely have files on everything. They have files on all these cryptids and anything that's seen and anything that's physical. And actually, you look at their alien, their UFO, stuff that they're dropping, stuff that files. They definitely documenting that stuff. they have that same documentation and same stuff going on with Bigfoot and with other cryptids. They have files, and there's definitely easily there must be footage and stuff. There must be of their own military operations and militaries and things like that. I'm sure of, and definitely instances, encounters of Bigfoot during training exercise. We know the troops who come out and say that. But I'm sure it's much deeper and stuff like extensive files and stuff like that. Investigations and things like that. The missing people aspect, how those are connected. The missing children aspects of the woods. Where Polites and stuff alludes to the FBI being there, and some of these agencies that don't involve themselves usually in typical missing people investigations and stuff. So if you have like ongoing serial killer stuff or ongoing, say, Sasquatch problems and stuff like that, you might have people looking into it, right? So there's all these files and stuff. There's if not, then they're definitely not doing their job right. So right. So but what they do with it and stuff, is the real question. So uh and usually it would be for national security purpose. The only role of the government is to share the national security of we the people. So technically, that's why usually everything's top secret, because it's national security and things like that. As it should be. I would assume so. America, we have the best military, the best everything. We kick ass at everything, and as we should, we have the last since 1776, baby. Uh, we have extensive things on everything, and I'm sure there's documented cases of autopsies and stuff like that. The Miller report is said to be a government leaked document by a person who worked in whatever agency, by a alias name, that dropped as a document for the public. And there's been other, especially since the internet, documentation, pictures, maps, underground tunnel systems that have been dropped. Sort of the same kind of way, anonymously, basically, but the information is very, very interesting. The documentation and stuff is very interesting. So, you kind of have to speculate on what that's, some people say, it's definitely for the public to see, you know. So if you look at the Miller report and stuff like that, it's pretty interesting. It points to some scary stuff, basically they're super animalistic and driven by hunger, but massive hunger. But that, those kind of, that kind of a creature, being like the most hungriest and ferocious animal on the planet that could not, can't gorge itself enough on human flesh to satisfy its hunger. That kind of a mindset and creature would not survive in Lower Michigan. That creature would be breaking into your house or breaking into every single dwelling inside, wherever it's at, every single time it needs to go out and hunt and feed and stuff and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of stuff, it's a document, it has a bunch of things that you can read. And but there's maybe different types, different attitudes, and animals do become wild in different states in the rut. There's different phases and different moods and different changes that animals can go through. We do know that a dog, especially a big breed dog, even the little dogs, but a big powerful breed dog, gets the taste of blood in its mouth, wild blood, say it kills a rabbit and stuff. It does get a little bit more wild and aggressive and stuff, and especially, you try to get it to, get away from it, and it won't listen to commands and stuff, it becomes wild and stuff. So, different phases of the moon affects animals and people that we know of for sure. We know that the days of the week that we've, this constraint that we set ourselves on, Friday and Saturdays, especially hospital visits, go through the roof. We know that domestic violence and fights and drunken brawls and all this stuff happens way more on the weekend and happens way more when it's a full moon, and as the moon is getting more full, and the moon affects a lot of different stuff, so, and animals get into different frenzies and stuff, even of wild domestic dogs, can group up and all of a sudden get into a frenzy and they start attacking people. And you hear about the horrible accidents with kids and stuff where, they gnaw the arm's gone, because these dogs are in such a frenzy and stuff that they would normally be a loving dog to, their owners would say, to almost any kid and stuff. But, all of a sudden they're frenzied and bloodthirsty and basically in a chaotic, uncontrollable state, so, uh, apes and stuff, chimpanzees especially, can flip on a dime. Chimpanzees are, shot in movies and are nice pets and stuff when they're young, but when they grow into adults, they change. And you look at movies with chimpanzees in it, and it's baby chimpanzees. You look at an adult chimpanzee, they look totally different. Big, massive, and they are aggressive and don't like certain things. There's instances of zookeepers and stuff, giving items and treats to maybe one particular chimpanzee, and the whole group of chimpanzees sees that and takes note of that, remembers that, and they attack that guy. They attack the human. They gnaw his hands off. They chimpanzees are very ruthless when they attack. They go after your vitals and your digits and your extremities, and they did that, and because of the guy didn't share with the whole group, and they got all frenzied up and stuff. There's instances of them, they would attack that monkey too, and monkeys do this too. If you play favorites and stuff, they'd beat up the monkey that's being favoritized, and they also don't like the person who's not giving them the treat or not giving them the attention or the equal stuff that the other monkeys are getting and stuff. So, you got to be careful out there in the wild with these creatures. I like to think of them as more humanistic too, but the reality is, when you dive deep, is, if they are the great ape, right, that most, even the scientific community, would consider them a great ape. Well, great apes eat eat everything. They're mostly plant eaters, but they eat meat, and they'll eat other primates, especially smaller ones, right? So the Native Americans talk about them, eating people, and eating themselves too, in a cannibalistic stuff. So some of it does point to animalistic nature, and some of it points to more, caveman, at least level intellect or intelligence, where there's understanding of trade, there's understanding of communication and stuff. But they still say that they still kidnap their women and children and eat them. So you got to remember that these creatures are opportunistic. They've been eating people for forever. It's probably been restrained from modern technology and how we dominate the world now. So if they get us and eat one of us and stuff, usually brings in so much heat that it's not worth it. But it doesn't stop them from doing that. It doesn't stop them from saying, if you keep following us, we have no choice. or if you know what, you came across our baby and now frenzied, or you do something wrong and they're frenzied up. So sorry, popped out of there. If they get into this frenzy state, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? When great ape, I mean, you look at what happens, when they're around great apes. You go limp. You don't move. You don't fight back. You don't do nothing. You don't look at them. You don't. That big male comes. You look away. You don't. You're not doing nothing. That's a challenge. Because if he gets frenzied up, or chimpanzees, or anyone, they're not going to stop until you're pretty much really messed up or you're dead. Now, Sasquatches seem to warn people a lot and will have a lot of more patience with people, but once you cross that line in the sand, I mean, what's it going to take? They if they're not intimidating you enough, and if it's really aggressive and stuff, you're talking really roars and grunts and large rocks thrown at you, not pebbles, but a large rock. I mean, a small rock, a rock can kill you. But I would say, hand size rock or bigger. Yeah, I mean, you better get the heck out of there, dude, because they're showing you that one of those bad boys toss can take out pretty much whatever. And those, yeah. Just like any other animal, usually they warn you. Usually even people, they tell you, hey, animals, especially, they have different signs and stuff, which you should learn, especially if you're out in the woods. You making your way through the brush, and you start hearing these teeth chatter and grunting and stuff. It could come across a bear. A black bear especially does teeth chattering. Chomp, 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 warning you. Different sounds and stuff. Sasquatches are going to definitely do that, and yeah, so just be aware of that, because people get complacent out there because nothing happens, or even I find myself sometimes getting complacent with safety out there, because and I'm out there by myself, and I'm thinking, even though nothing is happening, nothing bad has really ever happened, nothing negative has really I have personally experienced, it doesn't mean that at any moment something could happen. At any moment you make a mistake, maybe you're interacting with a young one, and the adults get super mad because it's not supposed to do that, and you're not supposed to be next to it, and all sorts of things, so get complacent because nothing happens out there, get complacent because you're frustrated maybe that nothing happens out there, or you want something. I know I pushed the limits sometimes and wanted stuff to happen. After Florida on the 168, I didn't go after whatever the red light was, the eye shine. After that in Michigan, I definitely went after stuff, and it's it's dangerous. I mean, it's kind of stupid at certain levels too, because at any moment, what's going to happen when the thing just stops and just lets you come right up to it. I mean, I would try to communicate and stuff like that, but you definitely want to make sure you have a playful one when you're chasing after it, and we did, thankfully. It was interacting with us and wasn't aggressive in any way, but some of the ex-member was definitely probably making the situation not good, because it seemed like it was making him mad, playing loud music, and had a chunk of wood got thrown at the vehicle. A chunk of firewood, cut off split firewood. But I mean, you throw that at a person's head, It wasn't that hard throwing at the vehicle, but throwing at someone's head or face, I mean, they're going to get messed up, probably have to go to the hospital, broken nose, you know. Uh, they don't like that, and a huge, I would say, that's that size rock got thrown in the creek away from me and Josh, but definitely let us know. I mean, hey, man, if that thing would have hit us, the way it sounded and the way it just came down and boosh, we had to crumpled us to the floor like nothing. I mean, you just crumpled to the ground like nothing, and you're dead, or you're just messed up, and you want to be dead. It's like you're jelly at that point. Your bones are broken. You're done. You know, uh, and that was a very clear indication that we're like bowling ball pins out there. That just any moment just chuck this bowling ball size rock and just we're gonna crumple to the ground. And they're running around this whole and so you're not in control out there in reality. I mean, even if with guns and stuff, they're running around so fast and they can throw something at you from farther away, and from you could hit them if you shot them, right? Guns can go pretty far, right? But they're behind brush and they're looking over the brush at you, and they're going to be throwing the rock over and running around and trying to circle you and try to get behind you and sneak up on you and distract you. And you're not in control when you're out there at nighttime, especially even if you have a flashlight and stuff. They get close and they go on all fours, and they're bulldozing and moving through stuff that you just, as a human, you can go through, but you're not going through fast at all. In fact, that it's going to take you, I mean, honestly, depending how far, 100% longer to go through than that. 100% longer time frame for you to get through some thick brush than what they can do. So I mean, you can't outrun them. You can't really chase them. Catch up to them. If you track them, you can. But like most of the time, they're messing with people out there. When people are like, "Yeah, we were chasing them, and we were just so close." And reality is, they're probably messing with you because they're so fast. They're so move through the environment with such precision and grace and fluidness that no human can catch up to them. I mean, you're talking, you go out there and try to run after a deer, right? It's not happening. So, but they will keep distance and keep following you and circle you and follow you and see what you're up to and mess with you. They definitely will do that, and they're learning what we do and learning how to react, and maybe for hunting purposes. It's definitely survival purposes. They can read our facial expressions. I'm sure they'd understand if we're looking this way with our eyes, and turning our head. They know our window of view and stuff, and how we operate and things like that. It's for their survival. It's how they throw stuff to get away from people, or they're potentially right there laying down, and they say the distraction happens, and they want to distract you and make you look this way so this one can get up and run, and then you look, and it's like I heard it running away, but I was distracted and stuff like that. Counting coup. The natives used to war games and stuff. Native Americans used to do. Would go to a rival war party, or even friendly factions, and try to sneak in camp and cut the hair off, or sneak in camp, steal the horses was especially a big one, because you were stranded and didn't have a horse. Horse was everything. Massive important tool for the Native Americans, especially when they introduced. Horses are not natural to native to North America. So once the Spanish and they migrated, of course, and eventually got to the multiple different native tribes, it was a very important tool, and they it was a match made in basically heaven. I mean, they bonded in the very short time frame. Some of the Native Americans, like the Apache and the Comanche, Cheyenne, uh, became legendary horse riders. I mean, it's only in a span of a couple hundred years, very short time frame compared to having the horse in Asia, and Mongolia and stuff. The or even Europe and stuff, and the horse right cavalry ship and stuff like that. So, anyways, the stealing the horse from the other tribe was very, very bad if you let that happen to you, or if you were able to do that to the other tribe, get away with it. And of course, when actual war happened, you would do those tactics. You were not practicing anymore. You would actually go into camp, and then instead of cutting the hair or stealing something very close or stealing something off the person, you would be dispatching the person. You would be actually stealing the horses, and you would these counting coup stuff would actually come into play. So if they're doing those tactics to people, it's for a purpose. They're not messing with people or distracting people or trying to figure out people for a friendly purpose. It could be for a tactical hunting purpose, for people. Like they've probably always have with Native, this relationship with people. If you look at the official history, Homo sapiens, especially in North America, when we migrated here, massive hunters. I mean, it's all we did, hunter gatherers, and we killed, supposedly led to extinction of some creatures, right? They say a lot, but there's a lot going on, so they don't know. But we were definitely proficient in hunting and started to dominate everything. And so, this was a type of creature who would have seen that and seemingly chose to evolve into places and live in places where humans and Native Americans would not go. We don't live in the swamps typically. Uh, we don't live in these hospitable places and these super remote wild places or in these caves and stuff. These places where the Bigfoot would go, or the cursed mountain of the Sasquatch, where the natives would say, we don't go there. We don't live there. People of the mountain live there. So they evolved differently, and they evolved to probably, they used to hunt humans. A lot of tribes say they hunted us, but respect us because we're just too powerful. There's too many of us. It causes too much warfare. If you look at all the different tribes, they talk about it's the same kind of same tactic. What ends up happening, it's very similar. Different tribes are telling very different stories, but the tactic's the same. And it's always a conflict. Sasquatch is eating women and children or people. They go to war, right? What ends up happening is a lot of Native Americans gang up together and force the Sasquatches into a particular cave. They light the cave entrance on fire, and smoke fills the cave and suffocates them. And uh, the fire can they a massive pile of wood and debris is lit on fire in the cave entrances and stuff. So as they're trying to escape, they're getting on fired, and the Native Americans would shoot arrows at these things. As they're trying to escape, they're shooting arrows at these things. A lot of tribes tell of the stories of using that tactic, and we're talking tribes that are thousands of miles apart. So there's no way they're talking about the same exact story, this ancient story that happened in this one place. They're all not talking about this same story. They're talking about different things that had happened at different times at different places throughout the continental US and Canada, of having to go into war with these creatures and doing the same tactic of lighting these cave entrances on fire to the underground and burning them and smoking them out. And when there's conflict, and then years go by, and it seems that the Sasquatch population learns from that, and it seems like it happens again. It starts kidnapping the women and children and eating of people. That's what they say they're doing. They're not. They say that they are breeding with them too, but they are eating them. They're eating the kids. That's what they're doing. Okay, so I mean, what would you do if something did that to you? I know I would, probably flip out and light the cave on fire and do the same thing. I mean, that's what humans do. We dominate, and so if that's the response that they've always pretty much got every single time, they've pretty much always done this on a large scale. It seems to be like that doesn't change. When someone goes missing, a lot of people go after and figure out what's going on. So, does the government go in and actually exterminate groups like that still? I mean, who knows? But that's what happens when that's what the natives say. So you got to be careful out there in this complacency of they're friendly. And the encounter that me and Jason Kenzie had up in the UP, yeah, they were friendly. Yeah, they were good. And it could have been a massive distraction that two of them were circling around us and grabbed us, and we would have been missing just because we were staring at two. They were, letting us look at them, I'm not saying that's what it was either, but these creatures are stupid. And humans out there interacting with these creatures are stupid. We're like toddlers. It is as easy as, oh, hey, look at me. A Bigfoot stands out. Oh, hey, look at me. And you just get so focused and distracted that another one just comes up and grabs you. Because, I mean, it'd be literally that easy for a majority of people. If you're not running scared out of your blitz mind and you're just staring at that thing, you're totally distracted, So we got to be careful and stuff of what we want. So let me look. Look at chat. I'm not going to be on too long tonight. Next week's show is going to be a little bit better. We have a guest. Try to get maybe a couple of people to join it, but hopefully I have some videos to show you guys and stuff and go through. But tonight we're just chilling and stuff, and won't be on too long. But I like that word. I like using that. But never very punctual. I'm not really good at. If I was to stand up and give this kind of talks in front of people and stuff, I'd get really nervous and stuff, and I'd be all over the place. And add call kid, drop on in. James, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I just said you were gonna not be on here long, so I was like, better join now.
It's not gonna be on. No, it's not gonna be too. I gotta do some stuff, but it's not gonna be too late. But yeah, man. Well, how's it going?
I'm just trying to organize stuff with Tyler.
Yeah, you guys are.
Ohio sucks.
Special trips.
Yeah, we literally, there's only like one spot we found that you can actually camp besides Salt Fork. So we're having problems.
Well, maybe I can help you on that. But
he said he's literally looked through like the whole state. And he said that only 2 counties in Ohio allow dispersed camping too. So
it's not Michigan, man. Other states are. You guys might have to car camp at some spots and just go out in at nighttime. I mean, if you got, hey man, whatever you got to do, right? You guys going to the Ohio conference? That's what you guys get ready to go do. Yeah. So, heck yeah, man! It should be a good one. It should be pretty big. It's good to see you too, Stevie B. I seen you on the the ladies show for Hairman Hoodwinks and Hoaxes, which is by Nikki. Another show, a YouTube channel on here, which is does really good content and is going to have a pretty interesting show tomorrow night. So everyone tune in for that. It should be a pretty interesting show, controversial show. But oh yeah, Ohio has a lot of caves and mines and stuff. So I'm surprised you guys are having a hard time. I'm sure there's.
Well, I have the
camping issue.
We have one area that Amy recommended, but the problem is it doesn't show the campsites, so he's gonna have to call and ask about it.
Gotta get out, just get down there and find out, right?
Yeah, and that's literally the only place he said he's literally looked at the whole map and can't find anything. Like it's literally no public land, like state land. It's all private owned.
Yeah, that is different, you know. But
yeah.
I'm sure you guys won't have a problem. Everyone going to Salt Fork, you know, good luck to them. Be mindful of other people doing the same thing in the area. So vocals and audio, which is going to be more questionable, but especially tracks too.
Well, we're going to be like not next to Salt Fork, but like a bit away. So hopefully there's no shenanigans going around us.
No, hopefully not. But I keep saying that, but I'm not a really good speaker. Like if I was in a crowd and stuff, man, I'd be nervous and it'd be work. But this is a little easier. I'd get in trouble every time. I would. I'm sorry.
I got it too. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I just cannot stop. Sorry. I got my brain takes a minute to focus in, and I gotta use that time to articulate what I'm gonna say. You know. No, I hope you guys get some good stuff down there, and from the Ohio grass, man. We will see. I didn't get to go out solo like I was hoping to, right? But I'm going to either this weekend or I think the Monday or Tuesday I'll be able to.
What happened? Just something came up, or
I wasn't able to. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Yeah, it was kind of good because it was cold. It was going to be cold still, right? Now
that's fine.
Today was like 80, like. And tomorrow's gonna be a really good day. It's a nice day, and so it'd be like 20 degrees warmer at night. So I guess that'd be a lot better. But
yeah, Robert. I feel that Ohio just sucks. Like no one likes it. Why can't we just like get rid of it?
Those Michigan boys, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I always figured it's the same thing, you know. At nighttime, it's a whole different ball game. Sasquatches are traversing the landscape. Private property means better protection for them because usually private property people are, you know, set in their ways and routines. And Sasquatches don't have access typically to all that. So either does government, right? So national forests and state land and all that, government can go in and do whatever they want pretty much whenever. So under the disguise of management or scientific stuff going on. So yeah, I think wherever you guys go at nighttime, it'd be interesting. Maybe you guys can get some.
Well, we know of a location that has had sightings at, and that's where we're trying to go. So hopefully
There's a bunch of sightings all over. So, Well,
it was like a dogman sighting.
Yeah, man. Hey, I don't know. They're out there. Whatever it is, who knows?
Well, Tyler doesn't want to, mess with that, so I'm not sure.
It's just like anything else, man. Just try to get evidence of it and just do it safely. And if you need to get out of there, get out of there. And that's because I think sometimes get too complacent. On I know you probably don't. You always kind of you got that kind of like worry and you should. It's a healthy response because we don't know what the heck these things want from us or are going to do, and we want a friendly relationship to happen so we can have interaction, but that might be one-sided. They might not understand quite what we want and are trying to do.
Exactly.
So, and some individuals are more shy than others. It's taken longer to have interaction than the other places, seems like, which is surprising and odd. I don't know. I don't get it, but each individual has a history of humans and probably different interactions. So that's why some of them, could be very dangerous to people because they don't have good interaction with people at all. Others could be very, others are the target we want, where they're going to interact with us and they're happy to, and they really don't mean us any harm. That would be prime candidate to mess with. A juvenile, especially one that's not getting in trouble to mess with us, and one that's interacting and we could spend years with and stuff. Because but then again, when it gets to the adult, it's like that wild switch kicks on, and then it might have a totally different attitude. It might not want to interact, right? Yeah. So we don't know, but primarily it'd be good to get a young one to interact, keep interacting, because then you could spend maybe years with it. It's building that, growing up, and it might pay off. But to do that is so hard, and the time to be out there to do it's just not really possible, really, for most people. For 99% of people, you just can't get out there enough. So it's frustrating, but it's life.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a pretty good lineup for the conference this year.
Yeah, Adam Davies is going to be there too.
Yeah. And they got the Finding Bigfoot crew there. And
except Bobo, which I wish he was going to be there.
Bobo. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of researchers are going to be there too. So, man, a lot of researchers are going to be there.
Yeah, Ernie's going.
Yeah, Ernie goes every year for sure. I'm sure you'll see some degenerates there.
Oh, you think they're going to be there?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, for sure, the tall one and the fat Oompa Loompa one, donut eater, will be there for sure. Yeah.
Are you? You think they got tickets? Is what I'm trying to say, or?
I would assume so. They did this year. I mean, I think, yeah.
What?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe they're not doing nothing. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
Are they supposed to be like preparing for their camp out in the next month?
Preparing for their camp out and stuff. Yeah. I guess. Sure. We're doing ours too, but I'm switching places. Bait and switch.
What does that mean? Oh, I see. You're switching. Where are we going?
Yeah. God, I didn't want them to really be. I don't want the drama.
You keep bringing it up.
I do keep bringing it up. I do. Because it's all behind the scenes from their end, though. So it always was, So it's like whatever. just gonna go buy like nothing happened. Let's make our money. Let's make our money. Play camp out. It's not that hard, you know. I mean, anyone can set up, go, hey, let's go camping. Let's go to the spot and just, you know, do it, whatever. Yeah, I took a break. Like I said last two shows, I think took a break off and stuff, but we get concentrated on a little bit of budget stuff. We got some people that are going to come, and, a different area, way wilder area and stuff that we're going to go. And if people are able to do what we do, then awesome. And if not, you know, we'll have fun and do what we can, have a good learning experience, and try to get evidence. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to make money and, hey, you know, give us money to do this and donate here and stuff. It's like, no, we're trying to get evidence, man. If you guys want to learn, and go with, you know, have some fun. And I would love actually to send an invite to researchers to come in and host. I think we could voluntarily host a huge gathering of researchers and get some stuff done. Honestly, it would honestly be that hard. It's not. I mean, if you're the real deal, obviously, if you want to go camping and you plan on going on a road trip, it's the same kind of thing, you know. You just out there camping, you know, and just go look for Bigfoot. You know, it's not stay at camp. Stay at camp and do nothing. It's let's, you know, let's go in the woods, go look for Bigfoot. I mean, you know how it is, you know, when it's time to go out in the woods, it's time to go out in the woods. And in January, it was fun. I've been thinking about that and stuff. I lost some SD cards.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Fiasco. It's a fiasco. Seems like people are going to be owing me some money.
What, someone taking one?
Racking up some money. It's just, I don't know if I don't think they took them, but they're gone.
Oh, okay.
Shouldn't be gone. Other stuff's gone. Shouldn't be gone. But that happens. People don't like me. They fuck with me. Fuck with my stuff.
Where are you at right now? It looks a lot brighter.
Stuff. I am not where I have been, which was a lot darker.
Yeah.
Different studio, different place and stuff. We moved back over to the bedroom.
But you moved again?
I'm moving all the time now.
Jesus.
No. I'm back over here, but I was gonna say something if we distracted me. Was this
about where you're at?
No, it was something else. But anyways, yeah, I kind of lost that footage and stuff. But I was thinking about in that stuff and how close we are. Just like if we just would have known they were right there, we could have got some tracks, snow tracks.
Wait, you lost the January footage? Oh.
No, yeah, it's on those memory cards. No, it's not lost, hopefully, but we will see. I mean, if it is, whatever. I can't do nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
Bill the people for the money, I guess. But
wait, who would have taken it?
Well, I had my stuff stored at my dad's house, and his wife.
Oh yeah.
Went individually through every box and moved shit.
So you think it's just probably somewhere there? Just
no, I don't know. I don't know. It might be deliberate. It seems pretty deliberate. Or
they sold it to
it's time to be like old folks
shop
or something.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Oh, okay. Either. Just misplaced it somewhere.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't deal with that stuff. I just okay. Well, this is going to cost this much. This is going to cost you this much. Oh, oh, yeah. I got you saying that you moved it. Okay, good. Thank you. Gotcha.
We got a question for you.
Yeah, I see that from Stevie B. I was going to talk about that.
Oh, that's what you're about to talk about. I interrupted you.
was a little bit of it was yeah.
Okay.
Stevie B ever coming back to Florida? Yes. I plan to coming back to Florida in November for the 168. If it should still be happening then. I know Carrie's focusing on Bigfoot stuff now more, so the plan is November. Be back down there. So yeah, I'll be back down there in Florida. I'll rent a car, or I don't think I want to drive the truck down there, but rent a vehicle. I think down there would be better. Have someone else's vehicle break down and shit.
Hopefully, those other people. Hopefully, those other people aren't going.
2 of them would, but I won't be around.
Unless you talk about Carrie about getting them out.
I'm not that type of person. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. You don't think it's going to create?
That's what Dave did. No, that's what Dave tried to do with me, but nah, I give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They would be sitting there, can't do nothing. I'll be out there. It's too hot. No, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, that's just what it seems like. That's what they do. You know, that's what all you do, and so you did as a career in government. You know, lying and cheating, going behind the back, and sowing dissent and misinformation. Then I guess you still do that if you're supposedly retired. You know, supposedly come out of government and then magically, oh, I'm into Bigfoot now. That's what I'm gonna do. Whatever, teach their own. In November, yeah. Going to be there in November. Stevie B says she's going to be there in November. As long as I get down there in November, I'll be down there, and I'm gonna look hard in those woods and stuff. And you know, Stevie B, I was listening to you on Nikki's show. I didn't finish it all yet, but I listened to the story of you guys' orbs and stuff. You guys are in a different area than what we looked. And there was one night where me and Josh, because he'll verify this too. He always asks. We did encounter stuff out there, me and him, and me and him seen lights too, and they were floating in the sky and stuff and moving. Not in the sky, they were treetop level. Moving and stuff around, and it was a completely different area than what you guys had seen, and they were definitely not car lights. So
yeah, you just reminded me.
I tried to record it, but it didn't record.
You just reminded me. Well, when was this? I don't know. A few nights ago, I was taking out the trash and I saw like a UFO in the sky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took pictures of it, so I want to ask you about it later because I'm not 100% what it is.
Should take a video, man.
It takes like live photos, so it takes like 3 seconds afterwards and 3 seconds, so it shows it moving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of a pain in the butt when you try to edit it.
Oh, yeah. I found a loophole, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Some software, it's like, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check a look at it and stuff. And they're out there. Michigan is a pretty heavy state for that. And you can check on the MUFON and data for that.
Oh, apparently there's people not invited back to the 168.
Yeah, Stevie B. Yeah, I know you guys got lights on your phone, and so I'm talking about. You guys were encountering lights at a different spot than us. Than we were encountering this spot at, which is very interesting because you guys were saying it was like orb-like, and this was orb-like. And I know I seen it, and I'm pretty sure Josh seen it. So even though I don't like him, I know he shouldn't lie and fabricate about that stuff, And Mogs was with you guys. Yeah, you Stevie B. Stevie B was with Mogs, and I think Barry Browning seen him, and I think you guys went out there a couple nights and seen them a few different times. So there was stuff going on in 168 for sure. I mean, there's definitely stuff that's caught and some stuff that hopefully will come out.
And people not being invited back.
Did you read in the comment stuff? I'm sure people are.
Yeah. Well, I know one person that isn't, so.
I know one person who's not invited back yet. If he was there, if he would be there, it'd be a shock.
You'd have to, yeah.
I'd be checking my heart for. No, but I expect some people won't be back. Yeah. It was a first time thing for Carrie, and it was a big thing, and it was kind of things didn't really work how they thought in a plan. You envision something, and this is how it is. You can plan and plan and plan, but once you start doing stuff, those plans kind of sometimes can go out, can be a good reference to look at, but you're adapting and on the fly, and things are changing, and people are not doing what they thought they would do or said they would do, and it was a lot harder for people. It was very hard climate from being from Michigan and going to Florida or anything. Florida just, you got to train for it. You got to work out and get to it. You can't just spend a year on the couch and then go out there and try to hike miles off trail and stuff like that. It don't work like that.
Oh, it should.
You're gonna get injured. It don't work like that. That's how people get hurt, and that's people can get really hurt without noticing it too. Especially when the heat. I've worked outside and stuff in the summer. Doing arborist work, and so you kind of know, you got to get to know your limits. But if you don't know your limits and you just go out there, I mean, you can get cooked and fried and get overheated pretty fast. And that's why I always tell you, James, tell us, to work out and do something.
I work out a little bit.
Even a little bit. It's going to help.
I go for a hike pretty much every day. Get about 10,000 steps.
Hey man, that's good. That's good because.
But I don't really work out in your terms.
I don't work out enough. Starting to though actually now, but getting back into it a lot more. Honestly, just easy push-ups, even on your knees, starting on your knees.
I can do them.
Hey man, there's been times where I had to start on my knees. There's been times where I worked out and stopped, and there's times I had to start back on my knees. There's nothing wrong with it, anything. Honestly, the biggest thing that most everyone needs to do and doesn't do is stretch. Stretching.
I do stretch, yeah.
Massive thing. I mean, the American couch potato syndrome is everyone works and does. I mean, no one stretches. No one stretches at all, and you develop problems and your back's out of place. And I mean, there's times I wake up and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this stuff lubricated and get it going and flowing and stuff, not be stiff all the time and not stretching. Gotta do that. Keep yourself limber, and doing that can help. Out there too, because you're lubricated, your joints are flowing a bit better. You're not gonna step out of your camper down 2 steps and about break your ankle twice in a week doing it, right? So
yeah, if the 168 wasn't in Florida, I probably would go. And not anywhere else, but maybe somewhere more, Eastern or Midwestern.
Canada, West would do good. Yeah. It's not that bad. I don't know. I mean,
I don't like the crocodiles and alligators and.
It's not that. It's the bugs.
The
it's just
snakes.
Like, you're gonna get bit by something. It's like I don't know. I'm just gonna get bit by something and find out later with the bugs. But snakes, I only seen one snake.
Oh, I thought Chad said he saw one.
I don't know. Maybe, but not as much as I would have.
Oh, there's spiders too.
Yeah, that is true. Big old ones. Not necessarily poisonous, but yeah, you could have an allergic reaction. It was a learning experience, see Stevie B. Good and bad. And I enjoyed it. I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought we do have good evidence. There's some stuff I hope it comes out. There was some drama and stuff. There was some crap, and it is what it is. But I think next time definitely would be better. I think Carrie and at least people who were there have an understanding of what it would be like, what needs to be done. A bit more. It's work. That's what it is. You're not going there on vacation. You're going there to I would expect 8 hours, in the field, or 8 hours of, trying to work, of getting something accomplished, getting evidence of trying to, something, strategically planning or whatever needs to be done, because that's basically what needs to be done. Because when you're out there, this, it's, the real work to go out there and to find stuff, it takes work. You're not gonna. I mean, yeah, you can say the camp stuff can happen, but best stuff that's happened to me is you go out there and you bring them back. Or you go out there and you stir up some stuff, and then they typically try to follow you back, or you have interaction out there because it's in their environment, their game, in their backyard. It's where they are more comfortable. They can surround you. They can manipulate a lot easier than from your campsite or by the fire, or where your lights are, where there's more people and stuff. So they get more brave and bold. Yeah, it was definitely good. I would recommend you go, James. It's not that hard. It's not. I mean, you're gonna get ate up by mosquitoes. No different than up to the UP.
Yeah, that was awful. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
In the UP, yeah.
Worse. I think that was up there with Florida, but I think it might have been worse. There were some times in Michigan that were getting ate up by mosquitoes. I was just like, this is worse than Florida. I remember thinking that. I was like, this is worse than Florida. For sure. So.
I mean, maybe they go to Oklahoma, New Mexico.
Oklahoma would be awesome. I want to go to the Kiamichi Mountains in Oklahoma. Oregon. Actually, I think I might. There actually is a pretty good chance I would be actually in Oklahoma for maybe a week. I don't know exactly where at, but I would be in Oklahoma and would have some time to actually get out and go. So I might organize, try to go down to like Brown Springs and stuff. I hear that's good.
I've never been there, so I have no idea.
I've never been there either, but
from what I heard, the farthest west I've been is like like Indiana, not Indiana, like maybe Kentucky.
That's east.
Yeah, exactly.
That's eastern Michigan, southeast.
Okay, Iowa.
There you go. Yeah.
Indiana.
I've been to New Mexico. Me and my dad drove down there.
Oh no, I've been to Arizona once.
That was a pretty long, awesome drive. I wouldn't mind going to East Texas and stuff. Where I want to go, I actually want to go to Kentucky. Driving through there, that environment, that the hills, they're not really, I wouldn't say mountains, but it's the Appalachian Mountain chain, and these hills and the way it is, it's like I can see why there's Sasquatches and other cryptids there, because the environment is, and there's, you're going up these hills and it's all forced and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Yeah. I mean, it's like how many of those are you going to go up and down in a night chasing after these things? Not that many. These things can, traverse the landscape pretty well. And it's like Michigan, once you get out in the countryside and away from the big cities, man, they're everywhere, I'm sure. Some of those people are a little bit poor. Kentucky's, not the richest state.
No.
School system's not that great either. Speaking of Kentucky, and a special guest next week, we'll have Shannon back on from Kentucky to have some of her input on some of the videos stuff we'll show. So show some hoaxes and stuff. We'll show some of the videos people think are real, and I might send you some videos too, because if it doesn't load up and stuff and work for me, it works for you. Well, it works for you. Yeah, I know I can do that on my phone and stuff too. So I might send you
speaking of hoaxes on Facebook, I've been seeing a lot of like hoaxes, old ones coming back up.
I mentioned that earlier briefly. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a shame, really.
Yeah, and people they try to put it off as real, pretty much.
Yeah, stuff like it's like 10 years older.
Yeah.
Well, it's these new it's all exciting, especially people get into it. They just don't know. They don't know the backstory. Especially people are claiming it's from a different state. Someone else found it. Yeah.
Or even going to Oregon or Washington or Montana,
Kentucky, Tennessee area. Honestly, I like Michigan, man.
I'm biased.
It's so dumb, but I just want to keep going up to the UP. There's different spots. Western UP. I mean, it's so remote. There's so much missing people and stuff.
Oh,
dangerous. It's wild. I mean, you could probably walk out in the wilderness and spend a couple months out there before you found anyone or a town. And if you choose not to follow the road to the town, even longer. You see a road and instead of following the road, you just cross the road and just keep going to the wilderness.
Yes.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, there's some. Yeah.
I think even if you did find a road, probably nobody's on it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a big highway.
You could follow 2 tracks that go.
Dozens
of miles, hundreds of miles. And see no one.
Yep.
I mean, there's places down here in northern Michigan, that.
You can go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what Bill said. He said there's a 2-track that'll take you from A to the other side, 50 miles.
Yeah, there's trails that go from all the way from lower Michigan. Actually, there's trails I think that from Detroit that eventually do hook up to bigger trails that go all the way up north. And there's trails in lower Michigan and different other spots in southwestern Michigan. And you can take bike trails, walking trails, and there's snowmobile trails now that you can go and take you all the way up north. Snowmobile trails are a big one too in winter. You can ride your snowmobile basically across the state. So, a little unknown fact is Michigan has one of the highest trail systems in the whole U.S.
That's good.
With our walking trails, horse trails, ATV, off-roading vehicle trails, and snowmobile trails.
That's why we have the DNR.
We have a lot of 2 tracks and off-roading trails throughout the whole U.S. And they're expanding and stuff. It's actually a big project. We also have, I'm pretty sure we have more coastline than California too. It's beaches. I'm pretty sure with the Great Lakes, the beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we Michigan has quite a lot of different environments and stuff too. We have the Great Lakes region, which includes Canada, Wisconsin, and all the surrounding areas of the Great Lakes. Has very unique systems and waterways and underground waterways and stuff. So very luscious area is the Great Lakes region, and it always has been. So the Sasquatch population here and the Canadian Shield, which is up into the Hudson Bay region, is a very healthy ecosystem for millennia, basically. So there's a lot of stuff here from the Great Lakes region on up through the Canadian Shield and around Hudson Bay. Very wild and rugged and healthy ecosystems. So yeah. I think I'm going to end the show though. I gotta get going, busy. And hey man,
sorry,
I could have started a little earlier too, but
I started getting hungry. Sorry.
Next week's show, I think we're going to start at I think 10.
I won't be here, so
I won't be here. That's right. I might not be. I don't know. If I'm going camping, it won't be on Saturday. It will be on a different night, but I'm planning Saturday for sure, or Friday. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't even know when I'm leaving, so I haven't even packed yet. So
well, I'm gonna go solo camping. I'm gonna go. And I don't know. I still haven't really decided the spot because there's so many, but I think I might just.
Yeah, look good for you having many spots. Ohio has 0.
There's spots. I think you guys are being reserved and conservative.
I don't know how long. I haven't talked to Tyler on the call or anything.
Not getting in trouble too much.
He said he's been looking for days trying to find a spot. He's been using Google Maps and Apple Maps and even his Hunter trail cam thing.
Oh man!
So he's been trying.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I only look at Michigan honestly for where we're really at and mapping and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's why I like Michigan. We have a lot of areas. We have a lot of areas, public access, national forests, and huge amounts of land. You're talking millions of acres of national forest land.
Yeah.
And that's just in the northern Michigan. Plus, you have the UP national forest, millions of acres, and you have state land, and you have a bunch of stuff. Our state does a lot of camping and outdoor stuff. We want people to come to our state and go outside and be outside and enjoy. So we have a lot of camping. We have a lot of recreational stuff, outdoor stuff, fishing and hunting. You go camping in every single county. You can go camping everywhere, pretty much. Yeah,
exactly.
Every 10 miles. There's campgrounds everywhere. You're probably no more than 10 miles in some spots for sure. But yeah, anyways, next week's show we'll have some videos and stuff we'll be looking at and talking about, discussing. We'll have some fun. Take some questions from the chat. It'll be a little bit more focused, I guess, show. And
special guest.
Well, not super special guest, right? She comes on more often, I guess, than the other guests we've had. So yeah, she'll be on. She's from Kentucky and get some of her input. I'm trying to get some more people on stuff, but
schedule.
We'll see. Scheduling and stuff like that. 11 o'clock. It's kind of hard for some people on the eastern side. So it's a little later than we usually have done.
You have to get the West Coast.
We got the West Coast audience now.
Yeah, you have to get Oregon people in
here. Get a guest from the West Coast. It works perfectly. But hopefully everyone enjoyed tonight's show and stuff, and the discussion and chat. And so, it's been fun. And check out some of these other channels we mentioned. Harryman, Hoodwinks and Hoaxes. I might be getting some of that mixed up, but with Nikki's channel and stuff. And check out WTF Moog's channel with the Fascination. He does a nice open chat. He does a lot of basically every show is an open chat with him, and they go spontaneous stuff. Pine Island Research with Jeff, another good one. Tall One's channel with Brent Dill. Joe with Western New York Sasquatch Research or organization. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
There's so many.
There's so many, and they have different names and stuff, and especially if it's longer. But Jeff has a good show, and he gets talking, has pretty good discussions and good guests. And Bigfoot Odyssey, a plug out Carrie and stuff, of course. Usually don't say that when everyone kind of knows Bigfoot Odyssey is a pretty big channel, but shout out to them and stuff, of course.
I mean, I didn't know who they were until like a while, so.
Yeah, right. You just gotta spread the word out. There's so many Curious Cryptids with Steve. Cryptids is another good channel I've been watching. She does a lot of good work with her name Jenna, I think. I can't remember her last name. She does some good stuff. Actually, informational, historical stuff on giants and Native American stuff. So it's very on point stuff that I recommend. Hiker Dave NE, he's out there in New England. Hiker Dave NE, he does a good job. He gets out there, he tries, man, and I like seeing him out there. What's Small Town Monsters? I can't. Alex, his channel is Sasquatch in the Shadows or something like that. Shout out to him. Small Town Monsters is the big main channel. They do a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. So a lot of people know them. If you first time you hearing that, you need to check out them. They do a lot of good documentaries and stuff. Small Town Monsters is the production company, basically. That's what it's called. The channel is called. And Alex is it Petrikov or I can't remember his channel. I was just watching it the other day. He goes out to it'd be nice to get him out in the woods with us. Him and his buddies would come out and investigate and basically make a documentary on they go around doing road trips, making documentaries on trying to look for Bigfoot. Central Florida Bigfoot, shout out to him. He just did a live show showing some raw clips and footage with him and Max Powers, which is his YouTube channel. Max Powers is his name and his YouTube channel as Bigfoot researcher. And Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot. It's good channel to check out. Doing some great stuff, great equipment. It actually is getting out there with an open mind, trying to investigate the truth, and he's not jumping on everything as Sasquatch. It actually has learned and is learning and stuff. So shout out to him. Shout out to Stevie B, of course. You can find her. She's usually on Moogs and stuff shows. She's always in chat on a variety of different shows, and a lot of people in the chat. Shout outs to you guys, because I see you guys on different channels and stuff interacting, and you guys are awesome and very supportive and stuff. There's a lot, there's a lot of stuff sometimes happens, and there's a lot of supportive people who are only in chat, who don't have channels, who are awesome individuals. So shout out to you guys, because
without you guys and stuff, a lot of people, wouldn't be doing this, and we wouldn't be having as much fun without you guys. And so you guys make it all happen. And you guys are awesome. So I've seen a lot of awesome people, like good stuff. But anyways, stay tuned for next week's show. We'll have some fun. We'll stay up late, have a nice long show, and see what happens. So stay tuned for that, guys. Anything else, James, you want to plug in or say?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, man. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. I'll post show and try to advertise a little bit earlier. But everyone have a good night, and we'll see you guys later.